What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. We'll get going here in just a few moments. What up? What up? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, broadcasting to the world live from hot and sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Want to welcome everybody in. It's good to see you. Kelly, I like Toidles. Rescue all the dogs. Hathers, good to see you. I was just talking to you in the Discord. Cindy, Sweet Jules, good to see you in the live stream. Shane, good to see you, Shane. She Warrior, Carrie, how are you? Good to see you, Carrie. Tam B, Melissa Balboa, Jerry, Ruckus Rocks in the building. Bring the ruckus. She Warrior, support with Steffa, Mary Margaret. Stop that right now. Stop it. My guy Redfoot, what up, dude? Stephanie. Julia Burns in the building. I say we hit him one time.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. We'll hit him with this one, too.
What did he just say?
He said there's a storm coming.
I know.
Kelly, how are you? That's funny. Julia, I just got your response to that question. I think BN Mama has you confused with somebody else. He was dating this girl that had blonde hair a couple years back, I think. Cryptex in the building. What up? What up, cuz? Po body's nerfect? Or nobody's perfect. Okay, gotcha. Priscilla of Boston. Shout out to Boston. Audra, welcome in. Cryptex and Ruckus off the mothership. Welcome to our planet. I hope you come in peace. Amy, how are you? I'm having a great night. I hope you're doing well. Beth, one of my favorite mods right there. Shout out to all my mods. Appreciate you guys. Today we're going to talk about Abby and Libby's case. It gets stranger and the people covering it get weirder. So today we'll open up the discussion on rumors, and also, so if you guys want to just inundate or flood the comment section with strange rumors that you actually may believe in a little bit, let's break those down. And also, I want to look at the leaked Frank's memo. I think it'll be a good exercise. I think we can find what good evidence the prosecution has by what isn't in the Frank's memo, right? Like there's no discussion about Richard Allen and his vehicle on the Hoosier Harvest Store video. They don't talk about that. But yet you got creators and rumor spreaders, trying to make up their own times. And we know from the affidavit, it was, I think, 126, right? They have him coming from east towards Delphi, from Ron Logan's direction towards Delphi, towards the CPS building at 126. They don't talk about that in the leaked Frank's memo. I wonder why. So I think we can use that as a reverse mirror, right? Anything that's not reflective in the Frank's memo is probably going to be something pretty solid for the prosecution. Patricia Warner, welcome in. Julie said, I deleted my comment. That's how rumors get started. Don't want that to be associated with me. I think the good news is, I thought it was under a members only, but it's not. Witchcraft, welcome in. Good. It's good to hear. I hope everybody's doing well. Heather Marie, how are you? What's going on with you, Cryptex? Shank, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about rumors and rumors that you might actually buy into. Let's do some debunking. Me and Hathers were talking about the CGI bridge guy video. You got some trusted YouTubers who really believe in that. Shit like that. Hey, Don Spain. Going to bed drunk in Paris again. I hope you're being safe out there, dude. Be back in the States on Wednesday. Man, I hope you're having a good time. But I also hope you're being safe, dude. So take care of yourself. And we'll be thinking about you. And if anybody wants to call in, we're not going to do an open panel, but if you want to call in and kind of talk about, rumors or any of the evidence or the details surrounding Abby and Libby's case and the strangeness surrounding it, it never ends, right? Good to see you, Olivia. And I'm going to do my best to really focus in on the chat today. Well, they're trusted by some. I don't trust anybody. You guys know that. People take your kindness for weakness. Stephanie says, do you guys know that AG has a recorded phone call with Richard Allen he's going to send to YouTubers? Not smart. Well, if you believe that, I got some oceanfront property here in Arizona I'd like to sell you. I got some ketchup popsicles and a pair of white gloves for you. Crime Jester. Trusted? Quotations. That's funny. That is funny. Funny, but not funny. Bet you'll never forget it, Don. See you sober soon. He was in Germany 2 days ago. He's doing it big. Hather says, because I had no idea what CGI was. Yeah, I mean, how's it going to be on her phone? Actually thought it was a whole, I feel like such a dang dingbat. No, I mean, it's trial and error, Nathers. Trial and error. Trial and error. No judgment over here. Amy, I think that's Anthony Greeno. Gets worse and worse. Justice for Abby and Libby. Yeah, I mean, 1 second you have people accusing the Odinist cult, and then somehow Kelsey's connected, right? Because she was listening to heathens or something. It's really strange. I mean, I can't make sense of it. Don't say that, Hathers. Nobody thinks you're a dingbat. I don't. We're all victims of subversion and gaslighting. Hi, Olivia. In light of the theme, I'd like to know more about the McCains and anyone who may have trespassed onto the Mears property. Yeah, what's going on with the McCains? We always thought Flannel Shirt Guy was one of the McCains, but I think that information might have been fabricated. We hear Derek German's account of when he showed up to the trails at about 3:14ish, and he ran into an older gentleman. Who was that older gentleman? We just always assumed it was one of the McCains. Why isn't he in the probable cause affidavit? Why isn't Derek German in the probable cause affidavit? Because it doesn't really have anything to do with Richard Allen and the case against him, right? There was a lot of people on the trails at that time. They're not mentioned. If you guys want to know who the dog walker was, go check out the Inquisitor. He put that dude on blast, which he should, right? What's up, Frank? Is what a rumor? Steph says, I've been lurking in the bushes. Get out of the bushes. What are you doing in the bushes? Crime Jester says, give it 30 years and you will have some oceanfront property in AZ to sell. Get on it now. Oh, that's cool. Don says, I got some pics at the Eiffel Tower with my Sleuth Crew shirt. That's telling you guys. We're taking over the world. You didn't know we sent Don on a secret mission? That's cool, Don. I have to admit, that is fucking cool. What's up, Regis? You're feeding into the rumors. We'll have a Fig call up his Auntie Gall. That'll fix everything. Audra, I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. I was feeling like shit earlier today. That's why I finally came live. I started feeling better. I was like, oh, let's go talk to the crew. I do get a little bit triggered when people go live and they're just talking bullshit. You know, I feel like we have to be the counterbalance to that. But I hope you feel better. Stephanie says he's telling people that, and one particular creator said, oh, good, you got my phone number. That's weird. Yep, it's that simple, Hathers. You are just awesome. Yeah, and you're not the only one to question that, by far. What's up, Courtney? Yeah, you take care of yourself. I mean, is there even anything you can do about a migraine? Jody Lynn, am I late or just fashionably? You are walking in like a bunch of hobos right now. I think you did just make the cutoff for fashionably late, actually. Support with Steph says AG told me that BG went to the bridge at 12:30 and talked to a lady walking her dog on south side of the bridge. That's that Julie Melvin stuff. You might be getting the facts of that conversation mixed up. But if you want to know the details, you need to go to Julie Melvin. She's the one that spoke to the lady. So the neighbor of Kay Weber, according to, if I remember this correctly, I have it on a live stream and I can make a short video of it, maybe make short. She said that there was somebody, this is, she's quoting the lady that lived there, said there was a darker person. Now, she didn't know if it was darker vibes or darker skin. Said there was a darker person hanging out on the south end of the bridge, kind of near her property. And the dogs were barking at her, barking at this guy because she let the dogs out. She wasn't walking her dogs. She let them out to go to the restroom and they were barking at somebody. Well, she went back there to take a look, got a good look at the guy, and then went and told her husband, like, hey, there's some creepy guy over here. And I think it was like around 1 o'clock or something like that. And he went over there and started like growling at the dude, and he scared him off. So, and you guys can choose to believe that kind of stuff if you want to, but I take it with a grain of salt. But Julie Melvin does have a lot of, she had a lot of good information, but then there was a lot of stuff like that. So who knows? And maybe they identified that guy. Or maybe she had the timing wrong. Just don't know. But yeah, that rumor, I believe, came from her. And I could have the details of that mixed up. Big Bird, sup? What's up? What's up with you? I didn't know any better. It was my first time at the bridge and didn't know the case. Yeah, Steph, I think he debunked himself on that one. Ha! This guy named Frank left me alone on Ron's property and on the trail. Damn. That's how horror movies begin. Poe body's nerfed. At the beginning, there were rumors the girls were held in an outbuilding somewhere near the Monon High Bridge. Well, that comes from the whole shack stuff. Kelsey brought up the shack. And then you had Doug Carter bring up the shack. And then from there on, you had weirdos bringing up the shack. And we delved into that. We deep dived into all the shacks, surrounding the area. There is one not too far away, but as far as them finding any evidence, I haven't heard about that. Gail McCauley says, was McCain? Okay, how do you know that? If you know it was McCain, then you should be able to tell us how you got to that, right? And then by telling us how you got to that, we can share that information. And then it's no longer a rumor. But if you're just convinced, that means that you heard a rumor and you were convinced by it. And we're all guilty of that from time to time. Hather says, I'm hoping to be at the walk in October. I'm healing nicely, so hopefully I'll be able to go. Do you think there really are tunnels by the bridge? Nothing to do with the case, just in general. I'm not sure. I am not sure. I know there's like drainage and stuff like that. If you guys want to email me anything, we can talk about it. sleuthintuition@gmail.com. That's funny. He has no business leaking evidence. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any evidence or a call with Richard Allen. And if he does, I don't know how it's evidence. I wouldn't get too worked up about it if I were you. Hey, Amelia, how you doing? Law enforcement asked for the public's help, and people showed up and kept the conversation going. I believe that was essential in gathering evidence, in my opinion. Justice for Abby and Libby. Keep talking. I agree with that. He has no evidence. He needs others to make himself feel important. Narcissism is a bitch. Hather says, was Richard Allen really among those that searched for the girls? I seriously doubt that. I've never heard that. I know that there's a video of this guy searching that kind of looks like him. That might be where that came from. But if you want to share where you heard that from, it's kind of interesting. I feel like he would have been on somebody's radar. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. Feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Mustang, what's up? Yeah, this morning's live was very interesting. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. True Crime in the Morning, episode 51. Did a deep dive in the Grant Solomon mystery. Was it an accident or was it cold-blooded murder? Shane says, rumor one from me. Items left at the crime scene that was out there for ages. Like what? I know the sticks were left out there for a while and then eventually collected, I think, like a week later or something. I always thought that maybe the jacket is out there or the weapon. I always wanted to bring like a metal detector out there and see if they can find something. Another rumor that I heard early on was that somebody went into the Mears barn and left flowers there. Crime Gesture says, Julie Melvin is a kook and not to be believed. That I don't know. I know that she is responsible for leaking the .40 caliber bullet information. That I do know. But I don't think she knew any better. We could have all been guilty of it, of leaking something, even though we all knew about that. She was the only one that went around spreading it. And then I think it was Sonny Justice who actually did a live stream about it. And 1 month later, Richard Allen is arrested. So I don't know if they forced that to happen or not. Hather says, now the darker person and the dogs is quite a strange rumor right there. It is. Oh, yeah, the teddy bears. Well, that came from these weirdos who were like thinking they could zoom in on the crime scene. And they were seeing all this pareidolia. And then you had that nut job. What was his name? Camworth, Bobby Camworth. And he always had his dolls and shit. And I think he was playing into that. A lot of weirdos. And what a strange case, right? If we could just go through like all the history of the strange things surrounding this case, it would be like a 10-part series. What's up, Peggy? What's going on with you? Welcome in. It did come from Julie. She said, old couple saw a man in their backyard and husband grunted at him to leave. Yeah, and I had an interview with her. And she talked about it. Mustang says justice for Abby and Libby. Thank you, Mustang. That's what I like to hear. Julie says, I don't know if this counts as a rumor, more like my personal wonderings with nothing to back it up. I'm thinking Richard Allen could have had a getaway driver, maybe circling around the vicinity until Richard Allen was done. Well, why did Doug Carter ask for the driver of the vehicle? And why didn't he give out the description of a mysterious vehicle from the beginning? Like, what? I don't understand. Were they hoping that they didn't destroy the vehicle or clean it up, maybe? I just couldn't understand that. Was it a fear that whoever was responsible for this crime was going to go and take steps to hide any evidence that might be in the vehicle now that they know that it was on camera? But think about it. Why wouldn't you put out the bridge guy image and then a description of the vehicle that you had on the Hoosier Harvest Store video? Put that out together. Put out an APB right there. Boom. And it just didn't make sense to me. And then why are you asking for the driver? Are you assuming that the person driving it is not the owner? I don't know. Very weird. That's a good one. The cat hairs. That's still a rumor at this point, anyway. Well, we know some folks pointed it out, and I guess I had already known, but they reminded me that it is listed in one of the affidavits, one of Ron Logan's affidavit, that they were looking for animal hair. So I don't know if that's a rumor. But I mean, just like fingerprints, DNA, fibers, and animal hair, I think those are things that you can find at any crime scene. If right now my office was declared a crime scene, you're going to find animal hair, unknown fibers, fingerprints, and DNA. Frank Meister says, yeah, she read trench coat looking like Little Red Riding Hood on the trail. And early on, I do remember hearing a rumor about two young boys wearing hoods following two teenage girls. So I don't know if that was ever verified, but that was an early one. Don says Anthony Greeno said he talked to Kay Weber's neighbor, who told him she talked to BG at around noon when she was walking her dog by the end of the bridge. Fact from Greeno. Big grain of salt. Huge grain of salt. And I think he's even just repeating what Julie told him. Because now Julie Melvin is wondering if the darker person was Anthony Greeno. But I don't know if I would consider him dark. Is he? I don't know. I have brown skin, so that's not really dark to me. What's up, CJK? In the building. Animal hairs and unknown fibers. Be interesting to know if they found that beanie or if they can match those fibers. Let's see if that's in the leaked memo. Remember, we're going to use the leaked memo, and whatever's not in the leaked memo, we're going to consider that probably, we're going to assume that that's decent evidence. Let's see, animal hair. Nothing. Let's see, fibers. Nothing on the fibers. The only time it mentions the Hoosier Harvest Store is when it relates to what the hell's her name? Betsy Blair. Someone showed the paper where it said Richard Allen was in the National Guard and was a sergeant. Yeah, what people don't realize is that there was 2 Richard Allens living in Delphi at the same time when Richard Allen was arrested. And I'm pretty sure they're confusing it with him because he had a lengthy military history. He was even on like some kind of watch list for being a radical right wing. I think he lives in like Monticello now, or he moved away, but he was living in Delphi at the time. And I'm pretty sure they're looking at his military history. Richard Allen's last 4 of his social is in the doc dump that Goal released to the public. So just notice when they try to show his military history, they won't show the last 4 of the social. So when we did our own investigation, and we were able to find Richard Allen's actual military history with a matching social. And according to the records that we uncovered, thanks to the Sleuth crew, shout out to you. You guys know who you are. He didn't even make it through boot camp. So, and that could be wrong. Or it could just be a partial record. But you're trying to tell me Richard Allen was a sniper and a sergeant and all that? And that's the thing. People that you're probably getting this information from have a track record of being retarded. And that's no disrespect to people who are handicapped. I'm talking like special. These are some of the people who put the crime scene photos on their live stream and they didn't even realize it. And these are the people you're listening to? Hey, I'm an investigator. I'm really smart. Oh, I didn't know that was a crime scene photo. I had it on my screen for 2 hours straight and I didn't even realize. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to listen to that guy. But you guys do you. You do you. Rumor was a snuff film made of the attacks. Yeah, that was one of the theories that we were leaning into heavy. We're trying to find out what would motivate somebody to do that. What's going to motivate somebody to kill 2 young girls in the middle of the day? I think $10,000 would motivate somebody, especially somebody who's under a great deal of financial stress, right? I have a wedding to pay for. I have a funeral to pay for. And I'm told that if I do this, I'll get, a certain amount of money. But yeah, it's just a rumor, just a theory. Thank you, Peggy. I appreciate that. Thank you for sponsoring today's live stream. That was very generous of you. Shout out to all of you who support my channel. Don't forget to like and share it right now. Go share it. Go share it on X. Go share it on Facebook and on your YouTube. See if we can get some of these knuckleheads in here. Yeah, there's some Hather says, I've wondered about the tunnels too, Stefa, and not too far away. A lot of people talk about them. Never seen them. Well, what started all that is there are some historical documents that talk about underground tunnels, fear during World War II. You had people like Theodore Roosevelt coming through there. And they wanted to make sure he had a place to go if the shit hit the fan or something. But really, it's only one article, and then I know Farmer was talking about something we brought up a while ago about the caves and all of that. So I don't know. I mean, they're on the maps. So what's up, Rescue? You guys are having a heat wave, huh? Heat wave. Cryptex. A rumor is that a firefighter, JD, is involved in the murders. He is known for his sudden appearance at arson fires, always the first one on the scene, the hero syndrome. How is he tied to Delphi? But yeah, that is consistent with people who have been arrested for arson. How is JD tied to Delphi? Oh, Robert Lindsay, yeah, and the pregnancy stuff. That turned out to be a big pile of dookie. Man, wouldn't that really feed into the Logan Holder thing? That's why he lied about it. He was trying to feed that narrative. What's up, Boston Christian? Don says Greeno and Kat also claim they talked to Dave McCain 2 days after the murder. Yeah, I think that was bullshit. They claimed he said he passed BG on the trail after the murders. Yeah, if you had that conversation, you would have aired it. It's just shit like that that it really did a lot of harm. He said something too about talking to Redwine's sister, and she verified that he was in Delphi that day. I bought into that. That was the last time I really listened to anything that he had to say like that without showing it, right? Because I think he's done a lot of good, like getting out there, boots on the ground, and covering the case and stuff like that. But it's just the lying about things. It's, I don't have to judge him. I just stop watching and stop believing it. You don't have to get all triggered and start hating people and get drugged down to their level. You just simply stop, you unsubscribe, and you no longer watch. And then when people bring up stuff like, oh, did you hear what so and so said? You say, it's probably not true. Let me know when he proves it. And that goes for everybody, There was that rumor BG had a puppy. Oh, yeah, the puppy. That's a good one. Here, let me pull up some of these images. I think that one came from Harvey Dent. And what's funny is Richard Allen does have a white puppy with a black nose. So that kind of feeds into that rumor. Yeah, people were trying to say that this was a dog or something. It's a puppy wearing sunglasses. It has a big smile. But what's weird is he does have a little white dog. You want me to show it to you? Here, let me pull it up. That's what makes that rumor even stranger. He has a little tiny white dog. I was able to get an image of it before Kathy took down her Facebook. But how strange is that? Hopefully I still have it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at this little dog. Is that what we're seeing right here? The little black eyes. The little nose. Is that what he's got shoved in his coat? Oh. Look, you can see the dog's legs. Look, it's a little doggy foot. And look, there's the nose and the dark eyes. Spuds McKenzie. Yeah, I remember that rumor. Look, you can even see like a little shape of a body. He's got the dog in his coat, guys. Animal hair. Wouldn't that be crazy? I don't know. Maybe some of these rumors will turn out to be true. Yeah, that was a funny one. When you guys say hot, what are you talking about? What is hot to you? You're fired. Erroneous. Lulu Gumshoe, welcome in. Good to see you. We're talking about rumors, but the ones that you actually might believe in a little bit, right? Let's hear the rumors that you think have a little bit of weight to it. And then also we have the Frank's memo up, and I'm saying that we're going to use it. Anything that's not in the Frank's memo that we know is factual information, like the Hoosier Harvest Store video, if it's not listed in the memo, it's most likely because it's going to be damning to Richard Allen. But you guys hold that thought. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. Redfoot says no, he never finished boot camp. Yeah, those are the documents that I seen that actually had his social on there. We could verify it with the social. There's no reason for them to provide the documentation and then leave out the last four of his social. The only reason they would do that is to hide the fact that it's not really him. You know, and why would they lie about that? Why are you supporting a child, somebody who's a suspect in a double murder, and then lying about it to make him look better? You don't think that that's wicked? Crazy. Hey, Cindy, what's up? So many people started out with the best of intentions and just went south from there. Yeah, it's the ego. You know, you spend so much time on a case and you dig up all this information, you know, and you try to hoard it. You know, you don't want to tell everybody, oh, you know, I dug up all this information. Kind of like the Ron Logan cult. You know, they did a lot of great investigating. They dug up a lot of information. You know, so have the rest of us, but we don't go around trying to lie to give to put weight on that theory. You know, you had people writing books about it, and then boom, Richard Allen gets arrested. It's like, oh shit. You know? So they put in a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of hard hitting investigative journalism, you know, just to find out that you might have been wrong. It's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes your ego won't allow you to just say, damn, you know, maybe I was wrong. Nobody wants to start over from the beginning. But I think you have to be willing to do that. To thine own self be true. Regis, do you all remember on It's a Criming Shame they were saying that a huge bunny doll was at the crime scene? I don't know if that came from her. But I know that that rumor was going around. It was ridiculous. I think we have a pretty good track record on this channel. Rarely have I led you guys astray. And I don't act like this is some kind of classroom and I'm here to teach you guys. If anything, I'm learning from you, right? Or we're learning from each other. I don't try to sit up here and act like I'm something that I'm not. You know, we all know that that's a sign of psychopathy. I'm smarter than everyone. I feel like all of us have something to offer. You know, you could take somebody with a high IQ level and drop them, you know, and then next thing you know, you're stranded, you know, you're lost in the woods. They might be the last person to survive. Sometimes it's just about resourcefulness, common sense, not allowing your intellect, you know, it's these intellectuals, you know, they don't allow, sometimes it keeps them from allowing things like God into their life. Their intellect won't allow it. I'm an intellectual. This is what I have to say to intellectuals.
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
Oh, Lord.
Erroneous. That's it. Garrett Kurt said there. Oh, that's a good one. I think I have that. Yeah, there might still be something to that one, Aethers. This one is creepy. Let me see if I can find it. Where would I put that video? Well, let me read your comment first. Garrett Kurt said there was a video of the crime and still there's been nothing stated that that's a fact. He said Sheena Cottrell and Nick Edwards had videos of the murder, and those are two real people who are very connected to a lot of suspicious characters. Dang, I need to get organized again. Maybe it's in here. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this was from Open Secrets. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
She told me that Sheena Cottrell and Nick Edwards had fucking videotapes and shit, and that she heard them talking about it. And then when I asked her about it, she's like, "Oh, I don't know nothing."
Sheena Cottrell and Nick Edwards had videotapes of the shit, and he heard her talking about it. That kind of feeds into the whole snuff theory too. But I couldn't find any connection to any of them and Rick Allen. But Rick, he had plenty of time to kind of erase his online footprint and take steps. And maybe he was smart enough to take steps before that. I don't know. There is also talk of a large grill-like item. I've never heard that one. I know there was an idiot spreading rumors about a some kind of luau, pig roast or some shit. That's the most likely scenario, Mustang. And if there's no DNA, it's because Richard Allen, that's by design. You know, he was there for an hour and 45 minutes. That's plenty of time to clean off that DNA. You know, especially if he's panicked. I don't know. I don't think we're done with that rescue. I don't think we're done. But yeah, we don't need a criminal. When it comes to psychopathy, we don't need a criminal history. Almost every case of family annihilators, there's no criminal history at all. What's that, Peggy? They weren't sure it was the killer's vehicle. Sounds like they were pretty sure. That'd be good information, right? We're looking for this guy on the bridge and he drives a black Ford Focus. If you know who this is, call us immediately. Oh, that's fucking Richard Allen. He was there that day and he drives a black Ford Focus. Boom. Done. In every case, when they go public, they give that type of information out. Why didn't they do it here? Shit doesn't make any sense. It's either they knew about Richard Allen and they couldn't do anything about it because he said he was there. It's almost like they needed somebody to come forward. And then once that person comes forward, they probably, without even knowing it, might even have more information that would be helpful. Yeah, and who knows? It could be legit, Shane. I mean, Julie definitely, she was there. She was digging. She's been digging from the beginning. I wouldn't, I don't think there's a whole lot that she doesn't know about this case. It's just the fact that she couldn't keep some of it private is the only qualm that I have. I mean, I don't hold it against her. She's not like a part of the law enforcement group. But a lot of people who weren't such as myself, never brought up the 40 caliber information. I know Fig knew about it. I knew a lot of people, actually. I know a handful of people that knew about it, and they never once mentioned it. They've known about it since the Maxwell affidavit. Somebody who actually viewed the Maxwell affidavit told me about that. And it was when I was looking into Brad Weber as a suspect. Because he had a 40 caliber weapon that was tested and released back to him. They really looked into Brad Weber. They searched him extensively. They did exactly to him what they did to Richard Allen. Like, they showed up, they made him come outside, they searched everything. And then 2 weeks later, he was pretty much cleared. They're like, all right, man, nothing matches, you're good. The only difference was Richard Allen was that his gun actually matched the bullet. And with the Maxwell search over on Bicycle Bridge Road, they tested a 40 cal there too. They did the same thing. They showed up. Can you come outside? They made him exit the home. They searched his home. And then 2 weeks later, he was cleared. If Richard Allen's bullet didn't match the gun, he would have just been another one of the dozens of search warrants. That's what people don't understand. And that's why Holman told him, we know that you have information. You were part of this. They're not saying, well, we know that you killed the girls. We just know that you're that guy on the bridge. We know that. And it's up to you to tell us the rest of it. Because whoever killed those girls took extra measures and steps to conceal the DNA. That's why you have Libby's clothing in the water. And that's why you have Abby wearing Libby's clothing and wearing 2 bras. For whatever in his profile, his criminal profile was that he had to have those girls redressed. For whatever reason. You know, the evidence is telling a story about who committed the murders. And that information is telling us who did this, but why? Because he was trying to conceal the fact that there was a sexual assault. He didn't want to upset his daughter and his wife and his mother. And that's why he killed the girls. He didn't want to have to explain that I couldn't control myself and I'm a sick SOB. I'm a sexual sadist. I'm sorry that I'm not your hero. I'm sorry that I'm not the man that you thought you married. I'm sorry I'm not the good son, that with no criminal record. I'm sorry about all that. Yeah, and it most likely wasn't pre-planned, but it could have been. I mean, we really don't know the motive, but there doesn't really have to be. A lot of people, they just don't know. The answer, once they're arrested for sexual assault, rape, and murder, they say, I don't know, I was stressed out. They don't need a reason. They're just looking to regain control. That's what psychopathy is all about. It's all about control, blaming others, superficial charm, no empathy. You look at people as objects. And you also fantasize about, in some cases, not all cases, because there's some people who do suffer from psychopathy who are not evil by nature. They know the difference between right and wrong. And that's why you can't use psychopathy as an insanity plea, because you're not insane. Insanity is a separation between reality. There's a difference. Oh, what's up? I went right past you. Sorry about that, Jay. Seen a video that said the FBI most wanted still shows they are looking for BG. I just don't how they wouldn't have updated the website. Well, they still are. Richard Allen's not convicted yet. It's still an open investigation. Once he's convicted and they have all the answers and they know like nobody else is involved, then they'll close it down. They're not going to do that during an open investigation or until there's a conviction. And because they still want information. They're still on the Brad Holder kick. Yeah, and a lot of this comes from the whole I don't trust the government. And I don't trust the government, but I'm not an idiot, you know? If you don't trust the government, that means that you just in this case, you think that they shouldn't be involved. Well, how are you going to get this guy in jail? What are you going to do when they catch the quote unquote real killer? Who's going to convict them? What courtroom are they going to go to? They're going to go back to Goal, or they're going to go back to an Indiana courthouse. So for them, there's never an answer. It's just fuck the government. Anarchy. They don't have any answers. It's just darkness, really. That is all it is. Hey, thank you, Sandollar. We got a super chat. Either Richard Allen was driving his wife's car, or Richard Allen gave the car to his wife after the crime and bought another car. His wife owns the car now. Not sure what you mean. Because he still owns the Focus. They actually seized it the day they searched his home. Regis says, does anybody here think that Richard Allen was picked up by somebody before he would have walked all the way to the old CPS building? No, because it's really not that far. And to me, it's just more proof that he really didn't plan this out. He probably always backed in, and he probably always parked there. And for all we know, he was drunk that day, maybe. And he was all pissed off, for all we know. He was trying to blow off some steam. And he's walked the entirety of the trail. He realized there's nobody here. The only woman that I seen just left. There's just me and these two girls. And then when he goes back to kind of watch the two girls, he sees that Abby is struggling. And he's probably thinking, man, I could just sexually assault them right over there on the south end of that bridge. Where are they going to run to? And he's probably been down. He's probably crossed that bridge. He can probably walk across that bridge pretty quickly. He's probably done it a few times, and even gone down the hill. He's like, I'll just either do it there. And when he got across, he said, well, I'm going to bring them down the hill. It's probably better if I go down here. Is it a rumor that Tobe said Ron Logan was covered? I don't think so. I think he was actually cleared officially. I might have some documentation on that. Hold on. Maybe not. But his Aki came out and made a statement saying that he was cleared. So I don't know. I'll have to find that. Jessica says I lean towards Lone Wolf. That's most likely what happened. I just struggle with the motive, but there really doesn't have to be one. For somebody to have some type of a weird sexual fantasy and then have a compulsion, some kind of urge that they can't control. And then afterward, it's like, okay, now what do I do? Am I going to prison? Well, somebody who has that urge and that fantasy is probably somebody that looks at people as objects, right? If you're fantasizing about raping young girls, you probably don't care too much about humanity. You probably even look at them as things. And you're not going to risk going to prison or upsetting, you're not going to make things hard on yourself, because at that point, that's all you care about is yourself. And having your wife and your mother and your daughter, people knowing that you're a sexual sadist and somebody that would do that to children, that's not going to be good for you. Yeah, I'm still lost on that sand dollar. We would have to know that he actually gave her the vehicle, and that still wouldn't, if he's married to his wife, that still makes him the owner, whether it's in her name or not. Cryptic says, why is the FBI website still asking for BG? Yeah, we talked about that. Because there hasn't been a conviction yet. Richard Allen is still just a prime suspect. Hey, Cheeks, what's going on? We're talking about rumors that you actually might believe in a little bit, or that you haven't quite thrown out yet. And also, we're looking at the Franks memo and asking, if it's not in the memo, it most likely is going to be used by the prosecution. Regis says, I heard an early rumor that DP looked like the young BG sketch. Yeah, he kind of does. Yeah, that was a big rumor. Yeah, that was a big one early on. Okay, I'm going to zip on down so I can catch up on here. Sorry if I skip you guys. I'm looking for all, the main discussion. Welcome in, Humanimal. Wasn't Richard Allen a National Guard for 58 days? Yeah, he was in the National Guard, and according to his records, he didn't really make it through. He didn't even make it through boot camp. So I don't know. Those were the records that we uncovered, verified to be his. All the other records that I've seen online that try to say he was some kind of war hero, I just want you to notice that they have the last four of the social scribbled out. Why would they scribble out the last four of the social? Because they're lying. Yeah, he was like a expert marksman or something like that. And that's fine if you want to go ahead and post the proof of that. Don't mark out the last four of the social. His entire social security number is in public documents. It's not. Why are you hiding it? It's been made public. Stephanie says, I did not know there was two Richard Allens in Delphi, Indiana. Yep. The other one's about 10 years older than Richard, the suspect, Rick Allen. And he has an extensive military background. He's even on the watch list. But people don't care about verifying information. They're like, oh, this looks good. This fits into my narrative. Let's go ahead and push this around, even though I haven't verified it. Hey, good to see you, wife Lilith, stopping by to say justice for Abby and Libby. Thank you for that. I like hearing that. Hope you're doing well, Lilith. Shane, rumor, Richard Allen, the dead bro-in-law's Facebook to talk to the youths. I heard that from my source who knows Richard Allen. He knows Richard Allen and he knows Tony Klein. And he says he doesn't know for sure that they know each other. He just knows that they all hung out on 2nd Street. At one point in time, it was a place where you could find Tony Klein. And at another time, you would find Kathy and Rick Allen on 2nd Street in Peru. And they both lived right there in that area. And at one point, they all went to school together or went to the same school. They were separated by 2 years, I believe. And this source also told me that they were not high school sweethearts, that they were really good friends in school, and that they got together after graduation. But yeah, that is the same person that told me that he heard that whoever hacked into Johnny Walker's Facebook was also talking and sending private messages to girls and women and young girls after he had passed. And we all know here, let me pull this up too. This is something that Richard Allen's wife posted. She was very upset about it too. So this kind of backs up that rumor. But yeah, when I shared that on my Catalyst video, I said, you know, I don't know for sure. This is just what I've heard. And this, look at the date too. December 6, 2016. I want to let all friends and family of my late brother John that I am working on getting his Facebook account memorialized. Yesterday was very upsetting for a lot of us. So I wonder what was upsetting. I mean, what happened on his Facebook? You know, this must be what they're talking about. Somebody hacked into it and was trying to communicate with girls. Who was that? We know Richard Allen was spending time at Johnny Walker's home, on and off, helping with the mother. Was very upsetting for a lot of us and still don't understand what was going on with his account. Hopefully this will fix it if it has been hacked by a monster of a person or persons. Whatever that means. I don't know why this source has been pretty good. I actually have a couple sources that knew Richard Allen personally. What's up, TJ? Sandeller, was he driving his wife's car? He was driving the Ford Focus, the black Ford Focus. That's what they stated on the Hoosier Harvest Store video. I don't know if there was any mention of another vehicle. Humanimal says Lindsay sucked a lot of suckers in to spread around his. I don't know what that means. Which he himself says is 95% bullshit. Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew right away and I was upset. But I knew not to get triggered, you know. I was like, this guy's obviously just trying to be polarizing and upsetting and quote unquote risque. Ashley Garth drawing a map of the murders, another rumor. I'm like a kid at Christmas with these. Yeah, that was an interesting one. That was the something something is the bomb. And then you had 2 X's. I don't know if I have that. Let me see. I have a folder titled Random. Never know, it could be in there. I think it said something like KD. Oh, here it is. Yeah, and it was titled they dubbed it the cryptic note. Yeah, I have it. Here it is. Damn, I have all this shit. The cryptic note. Yeah, this was the whole Kokomo crew and the Paladinos and all of that. Smile, motherfucker. Kai fucking Pie was right here. And this is supposed to be like a map. Katie is the bomb. And then they thought that this was the non-secular stuff. Not quite sure what that is. Ain't no rest for the wicked. I don't know what that is. But yeah, that was a another rumor. I forgot about that one. Julie says, why do people think floor fires and Delphi murders could be connected? I think that they could be connected. I think so. Other than the gender of the children and the close proximity, I don't see anything of significance there whatsoever. The only reason I think that they could be significant is because if we believe the catalyst for, let's say Richard Allen is guilty and the catalyst is the stressors of his wife kind of checking out after her brother passed away, who she loved dearly. We've read that. And his daughter, who moved out instantly. She didn't just say, "Hey, Dad, I'm getting married." She said, "Hey, Dad, I'm getting married and I'm moving out," like right away. This all happened in September. The beginning of September, his daughter's getting married, moving out of the house. The end of September, or I think on the 27th, Johnny Boy Walker passes away. And it wasn't that he just passed away. He had I believe he had a passenger with him. And he had given his helmet to the female passenger who is still unnamed. And I thought that that could have been maybe like a motive or something, angry. But that would cause more anger, right? So if you have the catalyst September and then you have, why can't that be the same catalyst for the floor fires? And another interesting thing is somebody that was a roommate of Richard Allen and Kathy Allen. I'm not going to say their name, but they actually lived right up the street from the floor fires at the time. So Richard Allen could have been visiting there that day and for whatever reason went and did what he did. Maybe even with somebody that helped him with Delphi. Maybe they were covering up for that. Maybe that's the motive. But it's just what I know about arson and how it is a gateway crime. We say, well, how can you just go and kill two girls without a criminal history? Well, if he started a fire, that's how a lot of these killers start out. Arson, hurting animals, shit like that. So to me, it fits with the profile. And it also fits within that same timeline of it could be the same catalyst, right? What would cause him to go and light those fires? Well, he has a connection, somebody that actually lived with him, same address, they were roommates, listed on his record as an associate of him and his wife, lived right up the street from the floor fires during the time of the fires. And kind of matches with the guy in the blue jacket. So yeah, definitely a rumor, but that's one that I'm just kind of like, kind of fits into the narrative a little bit. Hey, what's up? Deja Vu says it's National Dog Day. Cryptex said, I made a video about how the firefighters JD family is linked to the murders. Okay. You don't want to tell us? We got to go watch the video? That doesn't help. Does Mindshock still exist? Yeah, Mindshock is doing his thing. He's still on the Columbine kick. Beth, rumor, Richard Allen used AI-rich online social sites. Where does that one come from, Beth? I'm not familiar with that. Miss Mala, what's up? True Crime Talk with Frank Meister. Am I remembering correctly that you once said you heard Richard Allen speak in the courtroom and that his voice was surprisingly high pitched? There you go, Kelly. Exactly. Give it zero attention and it will stop, like when a child has bad behavior. I call it feeding the trolls. If you feed the trolls, they grow. It's like, you guys ever seen the movie Gremlins? Don't feed them after midnight. They might look all cute and fuzzy, but when you feed them, they turn into gremlins. Oh yeah, Pastor Micah. Yeah, he lived by Richard Allen. He lived in the same neighborhood. And then they had the new direction presser, and I think the first presser right across the street from Richard Allen's home at the church that's run by the pastor. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was an interesting one because he was over there baptizing people in the water in Deer Creek. So yeah, that was kind of a interesting one too. Yeah, that's a good one, Cryptex. I forgot. Well, we talked about it the other day, but that's definitely relevant. What's up, Augie? We're talking about rumors, but only rumors that you kind of bought into a little bit, or that you haven't quite been able to throw out yet. And then we have the leaked Frank's memo open, and we're doing an exercise with that from time to time. Any factual information that's not in there, we're going to assume is most likely going to be used against Richard Allen. And an example of that is the Hoosier Harvest Store video that we know is factual information, that they have what they believe is the forward focus on camera, but yet we don't have his defense team including that in the Frank's memo. Stuff like that. Just an example. Laugh out loud, that screenshot really looks like that dog's face. It does. It really does. And I'm going to hurry up and try to get down here to the bottom. Jack Skellington. TJ says, how did Richard Allen have a dog and he goes hiking without him? That alone makes him an asshole. That's a good point. Animal hair. There was talk that the FBI believes BG was at least 6 feet tall. I don't ever remember hearing that. That's definitely not what it says on the FBI website. Most likely white face covering, Stephanie. I doubt that it's a dog. Hey, but you never know. You never know. Rumor 65. The unheard audio, BG saying he was a cop or trail authority. Yeah, I don't know if that was rumor or just speculation. There was a lot of talk about a ruse, I think that was the rumor, that there was a ruse. But really the truth was he just had a gun. Yeah, I agree with that, Stephanie. Redfoot says those types of Carhartt jackets hold on to pet hair and dirt pretty bad. I've had one and it's a pain in the ass to get cat hair off of it. I have one too. I have a brown one. I love that jacket. It's so freaking warm, especially on the inside where the fleece is. This one isn't fleece on the inside. It's I don't know what you would call it. It's like that black velvety type stuff. Augie says, I just saw a prison note that someone said Ron Logan confessed to them and seemed to have some solid info before he was known. Yes, this was dug up by what the hell is her name? I might have it. I'm having a brain fart. She's the one that kind of broke the whole Rune story. Barbara McDonald. So she's a great investigator, right? She dug up all this information on Ron Logan. She did great work. It just happens to be that Ron Logan is most likely not involved, right? Well, she interviewed somebody that was locked up with Ron Logan. I did a video about it. I think R&M did a video about it too. Let me see if I have anything on that. But I mean, this guy was like a convicted, like, I think he might even have been a killer or a rapist himself. And he just wasn't credible. It's like listening to Keegan Kline, you know? Well, anyway, he told Barbara McDonald and the Knot group, they ran with it. He told he told Barbara McDonald that Ron Logan was masturbating on the floor of their jail cell, yelling Abby and Libby's name. I think it was this guy here. His name might be Haas. Let me put this up on the screen. I just have so much damn information. It's like, yeah, I think it's this guy right here. So this is the guy she spoke to. I mean, look at him. See, Carroll County 911 dispatch received a report from Tracy Haushin August 10th at 10:48 a.m. saying she returned home to find her boyfriend unresponsive. Investigators found the victim, Richard M. Haushin, 62, of Deer Creek. He appeared to be deceased. Tracy was a former wife of the current live-in girlfriend of the victim. Preliminary suspicion centered on the condition of the home's interior. When investigators arrived, items in the home were found in disarray. Autopsy was scheduled for August 11th. According to the probable cause affidavit filed in Carroll County Court by County Detective Tony Liggett on August 14th, it was determined at the scene the cause of death was most likely due to 2 bullet wounds to the head, which appeared to be from a small caliber firearm. Haushin told investigators she suspected James Haas, her former boyfriend. So you think that an investigative journalist would not buy into this story, right? Without proof or more evidence. But I'm pretty sure she put it in her book. Yeah, I think this is the guy she talked to. And he's the one that told her that story. So to me, that's like listening to Keegan Kline, right? Or B. Phillips. Bomb threat B. Phillips. But yeah, that's a good one, Augie. All right, guys, this will be my 10-minute warning here. Either Richard Allen was driving his wife's car or gave the car. You're still on that? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Height is very difficult to measure given the angle and where the camera was. However, using shadows to obtain the time of the video was taken is more scientific. Yeah, I agree with that. And the thing is, it's so blurry, the image. There's like this cascading effect. It's going to be hard to determine how tall. You know, you could probably say between 5'4" and 5'8" or 5'4" and 5'10". And you can probably use the photograph of Abby on the bridge too to determine. Stephanie says Crime Night showed the other Richard Allen military record, different social. There you go. That's the idiot that put crime scene photos on his video and didn't even realize it. I would never listen to him. He's the same guy that blames a 16-year-old girl for killing her own sister or being involved without any actual evidence, and then saying he's pushing that narrative because he wants real justice. It's a scumbag right there for you. Yeah, they're trying to get 5150. Yeah, we talked about that Mustang. That does happen. Robin B. Welcome in. 97 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty bad for you guys. Yikes. Be careful out there. You guys don't really have that central AC set up. All right, I'm going to zip through here. Rumors tonight, I think the mythical motorcycle cover that may have been used as a pet bed needs some questioning. People really ran with that one. Yeah, I think Ruckus is cited for that one. But he might have information that we're not privy to, so I don't know. But yeah, that's a good rumor too. Oh, man. I wish I had more time, guys. Hey, True Crime Fangirl. Welcome in. And if you're part of that replay crew, drop those rumors and information that's not in the Frank's memo. Because we know that that's going to be used to send Richard Allen away for life. Hey, what is up, Anthony France? Yeah, I think she went to jail for fleeing the scene. She may have killed somebody in a hit and run or something like that. Or just injured them. She may have been under the influence. I'm not sure. But she might be getting out soon. I don't know a whole lot about it. But yeah, I loved her channel. She was good at getting interviews, and she had Garrett Kurtz talking his ass off. She did great with that. Support with Steffes says, I agree. I believe Paul Hose broke the case. Just my opinion. Well, if they did find a lost tip narrative, like that's his thing. You know, he was all about going to the beginning and completely. So I could see like the investigator saying, well, we did go to the beginning. We looked at all the tips. And him saying something like, no, like you need to go look at everything. You know, I'm talking every little piece of information, not just things that you have marked as a tip. Because I think like a month and a half after he went down there and visited in Delphi, we had Richard Allen in custody. Okay. I'm going to go to a few more, and then I got to bounce, guys. Let's see. Who did I miss? Lee, what's up? Can you explain the peeping Tom incident early on in the investigation? Well, that's tied to the ski mask incident. So what they did was they took the ski mask incident and they tried to find something that was similar. And we found a very similar situation where a guy in a white truck apparently was looking through a window, and he was believed to be about 6 feet tall. But it wasn't really tied to the crime. It just kind of matched an MO. And also people looking at Tony Klein at the time, because that suspect was in a truck, a white truck, and he drove a white truck. That's the gist. Yeah, that super soldier rumor is what pissed me off enough to send in for his record. I'm a real veteran, and I felt like I was giving us all a bad name just saying. Yeah, and Redfoot's the one who did his due diligence. I didn't want to put him out there, but yeah, that's where we got the information from, and he knows what he's talking about. So we appreciate you. Like I said, this is a group effort, guys. We're just here to find answers, and we're here to know our enemy, right? That's it. I don't know if you guys have ever read The Art of War. I think the quote is, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you'll also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. That is Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Yeah, that could be very interesting. We don't find anything online. We don't of Richard Allen. The defense has said that clearly. There's nothing tying Richard Allen, nothing online tying him to the crime that they know of, right? Doesn't mean that they haven't found something since then. But if his daughter has left home, how do we know Richard Allen's not accessing her home computer or her Facebook at home now that she's out of the house? How do we know that he's not accessing his deceased brother-in-law's phones or laptops and targeting the girls that way? For all we know, maybe he had the Anthony Shots account. I don't know. But like I said many times, he doesn't need the Anthony Shots account to target and stalk the girls online. He simply needs a Snapchat or a Facebook or access to one of the friends' Facebooks. All he needs to see is, oh, we're going to the bridge tomorrow. Okay, well, then I'm going to go out there too, and I'm going to stalk you. Cody, anyone who can't tell that this is oh, you're talking about the Katie is the bomb? Yeah, I never paid too much attention to that. But me, I don't judge, I respect everybody's opinion, but I didn't take it seriously. All right. What's up, Lemon Lime? Richard Allen knew Patrick Westfall? I never heard that. And I'm always looking. I keep an open mind, Evidence can change my mind. But right now, the fact that anything that Richard Allen's defense team is talking a lot about is probably not anything to look at. It's the stuff that they don't want to talk about. The things that they're not willing to mention and the pieces of information that they don't talk about, that's what has my attention. Because it's their job to make you look away from their client. That's what they're hired for. Okay. KT Recovers, welcome in. Good to see you. Sorry if I missed anybody. Let me do a quick sweep before I get out of here. And welcome in Lemon Lime, Bittersweet. I don't know about insurance. I think she's the person who helped sell them, maybe. I know that she would have Derek German go take photographs. She might have been in like real estate or something. So that could be motive, Richard Allen's responsible for the floor fires. The girls find out or have a suspicion, and then he takes them out. But that's just a wild theory. Creating more rumors while we're talking about rumors. Was that after Ron Logan died? Yes. Yes, it was. You must be talking about the Hey, I know who this guy is. 1919. I heard a rumor that if someone's aunt had nuts, they'd be an uncle. I don't know. Not today anymore. I don't know if that's true anymore. The other day I saw tampons in the men's room, so good to see you. Nothing new? I haven't found anything new. And trust me, I'm looking. I am looking. What's up, Tim Perry? Welcome in. Criminality, how you doing? Thank you. They don't have nothing else but smoke screens the public to smoke screen the public with. With the reaction they got from everyone the first time they puked my name. This is Patrick Westfall, by the way. Out in that memorandum, why not keep doing it? Yeah, and apparently they're protected under the law, by doing that. So I don't know. It's going to be kind of an uphill battle. But it doesn't help that you got that dude, Brad Holder. I don't know if he thinks he's helping. I'm not quite sure. Anthony says, were there questions you would have asked JP or Patrick Westfall looking back, Sleuth? Just curious. With JP, I asked him everything. And with Patrick Westfall, I asked him everything. I mean, we even opened up questions to the public. And like I said, anything that the Frank's memo is focusing on, I'm not putting a whole lot of water. I'm not going to, there's not a whole lot of weight to that. Because it's their job to divert attention from their client to these other people. And we had that whole theory in 2017, the whole Brad Holder, Patrick Westfall, Odinism, Logan Holders, he's dating Abby, even Becky Patty was all over that. So it's not like she's probably the reason that they had his alibi and had them questioned, because she was pushing that narrative too, but then it was cleared. And once I saw the defense team kind of going down that road, the first thing I thought was they're just doing what we did. They're doing that Facebook stalking, grabbing whatever's on the surface, and then they ran with it. Criminelli says, yeah, she was the appraiser or something along those lines. Yep. Something along those lines. All right, let me go to a few more. Let's see. David Botkins. Do they think Richard's plan was to commit the crime there in the woods, or was it supposed to be a kidnapping? Time of day and everything seems like a bad idea. I think it was just an impulse. Couldn't control himself. And then after he did what he had done, he didn't want to get in trouble for it. And if he suffers from psychopathy, he just didn't care about killing two girls. He would rather not have the public know that he's a sick SOB. Well, not even the public, just his wife, Sorry that I'm not the husband that you thought I was. Sorry I'm not the father that you thought I was. Sorry I'm not the son that you thought I was. Everything would be crushed. His whole future would be gone. And if he doesn't care, or if he has no remorse for a sexual assault of two young girls, he'll just kill them to keep them silent. And that's most likely what he did. Criminality. Hey, Sleuth, do you think the defense will still go with Odinism at trial? I think they're going to try to. If it doesn't get thrown out. The thing is you can't have two prosecutors, you know what I mean? You can't have two different prosecutions in the same courtroom. You have to have the prosecution who's bringing a case against Richard Allen, and then you have to have the defense team who's defending their client against the accusations of the prosecutor. Now, if you have a prosecutor that says, "Hey, we have Richard Allen here; he's our prime suspect," and then you have a whole another prosecutor that comes in and says, "Well, we have our suspects," and you always need the opportunity to bring in third party suspects, but it has to be relevant. So I think it's going to be thrown out because it doesn't have anything to do with the prosecution's case. You know what I mean? There's no way to tie it into Richard Allen or to prove it in one way or the other. But I don't know. I think we're going to find out here in a week or two if they're going to throw it out or keep it. But it's not I feel like they've wasted their entire time when they should have been focusing on the evidence that the prosecution is bringing against Richard Allen. And I think they did for the most part, trying to get the bullet thrown out. I think they just kind of dropped the ball. I don't think they did a very good job at that, because if it does make it to trial, which I don't think it will, and that's what this is all about, right? Creating chaos. But if they do, I just feel like they're not going to be prepared for all the evidence that the prosecution has. They've wasted it trying to play prosecutor with their own third-party suspects instead of defending their client. All right, that's it, guys. I appreciate everybody who showed up for the live stream. If you are part of the replay crew, let me know if you have any rumors that you want to mention, but rumors that you actually still kind of believe in. And if you need to contact me, you can always hit me up at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Oh, that's a good rumor. That one I haven't verified, Cindy. But yeah, I've heard that one. I think that comes I don't know if it came from Julie Melvin, but I know she might have been there. But yeah, that is an interesting one. Yeah, and that's another reason why they brought up Patrick Westfall. They're like, we're going to tie him into the Flora fires. There's a lot there if you believe what the defense is saying, right? If you believe that those are runes, if you believe that what's on that tree was part of a blot or a bloat ritual, then yeah, it looks very suspicious. But you would have to believe that first, right? You would have to consider the source as well. Good to see you, Anthony. All right, guys, that's it for me. I appreciate all of you. An extra special shout out to Peggy O and Sandollar for sponsoring today's live stream. Like I said, if you guys need me, hit me up, sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Good to see everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to go get some food in my belly. Take care. Peace.